What's the function signature for malloc?
What's the what?
Function signature.
Okay, I don't know what function signatures are.
Okay. So yeah, tell me a bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually a final year engineering student. I've been doing my bachelor's since the past 3 years. I've been hoping to break into software engineering from
You're
quite a
very
while now.
quiet. Do you mind speaking up a little?
Am I audible now?
Yeah, way better, way better.
Yep. So basically, I am a final year engineering student, as I said. So basically, I am primarily a web developer
Okay.
uh, and a full stack one. So I like to do a lot of backend stuff, a lot of front end stuff.
So you said you do Python?
Yes, yes, I do. My actually the first language that I learned was Python only.
Okay. What sort of classes have you taken in school?
It's okay. So I've taken like DSA, I've taken OOPS, I've taken DBMS, that sort of stuff.
Any operating systems?
Yes, I have taken a class for operating systems.
Okay. Any computer architecture?
Yes, I have taken a class for computer architecture as well.
Okay. Any networking?
Yes, I did a complete course of like computer networks as well.
Okay. Cool. On a scale from 1 to 10, if 5 is average, 10 is God, and 1 is trash, for your level, I don't like to use the word trash because it's probably a little harsh, but like not good. Well, let's just be real, just trash, because that's the bottom of effectively the range is not good.
Yeah,
And
sure, sure.
what would you rank yourself relative to your peers, not relative to like the founders of Python?
Relative to my peers, I would give myself like a 6 or a 7.
Okay. Do you know what the global interpreter lock is in Python?
True interpret. No, I haven't heard of it.
Interesting. Okay. If you wanted to set up a if you wanted to have two Python projects on a single computer, but you wanted to isolate their packages because you didn't want conflicting packages
Yep.
to impact each other, how would you do that?
Yeah. So you would basically create like a virtual environment for that particular project.
Okay. And where are the actual packages and versions usually stored? There's a certain file that they're stored in.
Uh, they're inside the VENV folder, I believe.
There's a text file that usually specifies package equals version.
You must be talking about requirements.txt, I guess.
Sorry, what?
Requirements.txt.
Yes, yes. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. What's the latest Python version?
I believe 3.13, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. Let me ask you this. We just talked about the stack, right? The
Yep,
stack
yep.
is one segment in a program's, I guess you can say, like, I don't know what the exact word is. It's one element in a program's
Memory?
segments, sure. Or part of its segments, effectively. What are two other ones that are easy to think of?
Heap.
Okay.
Because I believe dynamic memory allocation happens on the heap.
Yes, and then there's one more. So we have that. That's where, like, for example, so the stack is where variables of automatic storage duration are stored, and the heap is where variables
Yep.
of dynamic storage duration are stored. Where is other parts of the code stored?
I do not know what that is actually.
Okay, there's the text segment, which is where instructions are stored. And then
Okay.
there's two more segments, and if you know these, you'll get bonus points with the interviewer.
I believe there is a hash table, if I'm not wrong.
No.
What's it called? I don't know, but there's this table of some sort, vector table or hash table, which like maps the values of the variables to their corresponding names, if I'm not wrong.
No, that's not a part of the segments. So there's an uninitialized and initialized static data segments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the stack and the heap. What are they and what's the I actually just mentioned what they are, but I guess my question is, which one's faster?
Which one's faster? I believe stack,
Why?
because it's like the memory is allocated and deallocated automatically, and it happens on the compile time.
It happens on when?
The compile time.
So you're saying, I think you're kind of like halfway there. So, you're kind of halfway
What
there.
am
I'm
I
just trying to think
missing?
of a good follow-up to that question. So I guess why is the heap slower? Let me phrase it that way.
Okay. I believe the stack is like a short-lived memory, while the heap is like long-lived. If that makes sense.
I mean, you can have variables on the stack that outlive variables on the heap, so I would not necessarily say that that's correct. I can do int x equals 1, and then I can do new int x, and then I can do delete. And I can say int x equals 1, then I can say
Yep.
new int y equals 1, and then I can say delete int delete y, and then y has a lower or a shorter life duration, or whatever the term is, than the int x.
Okay. So if I'm missing
So
something,
why is the heap slower?
I would say because it requires like manual memory management.
And why is that slow?
Uh, that is slow because you have to create space for it using like certain keywords, and then you also have to free that memory.
I mean, I'm just talking about the allocation, not the freeing. Yeah, of course, like writing more code to manage memory will take you as a developer more time. Like doing new x and then free x is obviously longer than just doing int y.
Yep, yep,
But
yep,
like,
yep, yep.
why does allocating on the heap take more time?
Um, I do not know that honestly.
Okay, what's the data structure that stores variables on the heap?
So there is
Or
structure
sorry,
that
sorry. What's the data structure
yep.
that stores heap allocated, like how much has been allocated on the heap, and what's available to be allocated? What is free?
Oh, okay. I do not know that.
Have you heard of the free list?
Nope.
Okay, that's what it does. Effectively, when you make a request to allocate memory, you have to walk the free list. There has to be an algorithm that
Is it
runs.
like a linked list?
It is a linked
Is
list
it like
structure, yeah.
linked?
There needs
So
to be
that would take part of an operation. Okay.
there needs to be
Okay.
taking allocating itself takes time. Finding for example, a contiguous array of data that matches your given requirements for n amounts of data and the algorithm that you run with it, like best fit, worst fit, etc. There's also a system call involved, right? You might, like on Linux, I think it's SBRK or mmap, in order to actually have the operating system hand you that piece of memory. Um, what does what? How do you allocate memory in C++?
Um. Okay. So are you asking me like the certain keywords?
Yeah,
I would say that would be malloc.
that's C. Do you know what C++
Yep.
is?
Calloc.
No.
Okay. Malloc, calloc, reloc. I've heard about those. Mm, I believe. Okay. Yes. For C++, I believe it was like just create a pointer and then you assign that pointer to like a new variable.
Okay, so for example, give me an example, just a simple pseudocode. So let's say we have int x equals, is what you're saying, we have int x equals y, and then we do int x equals 1, and then we have int pointer y equals ampersand x.
No. No. Uh, what I'm saying is, there are these like uh, you create like basically the let me phrase it for you. Okay, so you create a pointer, right? and you assign it to, let's say, null.
Okay.
So that pointer has been initialized, and it does not create. It does not like point to anything,
Okay.
right? Now, for example,
Let me
let's
ask you.
take an
Let me just
int.
pause there. At that point in time, is anything allocated on the heap
Ah,
when you set it to null?
nope, I don't think so,
Okay.
because that pointer would be on the stack.
Because what?
Because it's like a variable, it would be on the stack.
Okay.
Okay. Now you take that pointer and you create a new space for it. Yeah, the keyword that I was looking for is new, basically, if I'm not wrong.
It sounds like you're reading chat
No, I'm not reading chat.
because you didn't know it for the past 5 minutes, and all of a sudden you knew
Wait,
exactly
wait,
the
wait.
word with a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
with a lot of.
it clicked, it clicked. I basically said new and it clicked.
Okay. Okay. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there. Okay. You talked about malloc, right?
Yep.
What's the function signature for malloc?
What's the what?
Function signature.
Okay, I don't know what function signatures are.
You've never heard of the term function signature?
Nope.
Okay, so
Like I might know, but I don't know like the exact term. Like, what do you mean by function signature?
you have a function like int
Yep.
uh, do something parameter brackets parameter boolean. The function signature includes the function name, the argument parameter list, the amount of arguments, and their types. And I think
Oh,
also if
okay.
there's any const or CD qualifiers on there too.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, 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 okay.
I also heard you
So,
typing. I just don't want you to typing stuff up in GPT or something.
nope, no, no,
You're
no, I'm
not
not
going to win any
typing.
awards by answering these questions correctly. It's pretty. You're
Of
just going to.
course,
Yeah.
I'm not typing. Uh, uh, so I believe what you're talking about is like the stuff that is in the header files, right? If I'm not wrong,
They can be in header files.
like the
They don't need to be.
declaration, like the declaration of the function.
Sure. That's yeah. That's a function. The function signature is its declaration, or you can
Oh,
declare a
okay,
function signature.
okay, okay.
So what's
Uh,
malloc's function signature? Now that we've learned what that function signature means.
hmm. I would say first of all void, because malloc technically doesn't return anything,
Okay.
and then it takes, I believe, a single argument, which is basically the number of bytes
Okay.
to allocate.
So malloc, you said malloc. What does malloc do?
Okay, so basically, malloc allocates a certain memory to you and gives you a pointer to that memory.
Okay. So why do you say that it returns void?
Because the actual function of malloc doesn't return anything, if I'm not wrong.
You're wrong there. So what does it return?
Oh, okay. Then it must return a pointer to that memory location.
Okay, that's right. What's the type of that pointer?
It's a type of that pointer. Hmm, uh, I don't know. Actually, no, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. I only ask you this because you mentioned you took an operating systems course, so I'm just trying to gauge your
Yeah, yeah,
operating
sure.
systems. It's a void pointer. You know what a void pointer is?
Yes, I've heard of it.
What is it?
So basically, a pointer
By the
that
way, I don't
is
like the
pointing
answer.
to
I'm
an.
sorry, just to clarify, because this has happened before and it's caused confusion. When I say, do you know what it is?
Okay.
I don't like the answer I heard of it because that can be interpreted as I heard of it but I don't know it, or it can be I heard of it and I do know it. So when I ask you, do you know what a void pointer is? If you can just answer like if you do know it or not, or if you don't know it, that'll help clarify.
Okay, for sure. So basically, a pointer which like doesn't point to anything, I believe.
Um, It definitely points to
Like a
something.
pointer which doesn't have a data type associated with it.
Doesn't have a what?
Data type associated with it.
Yeah, that's right. Can a okay? Can you dereference a void pointer?
Can I dereference a void pointer? Uh, hmm, I don't think so. That would cause an error.
You don't think that'll cause an error?
I think that will cause an error. I don't think so. You can do that.
Why?
Uh, because dereferencing means you basically go to that specific memory location and you grab whatever's stored there. And if it's a void pointer, nothing's stored there.
Are you sure nothing's stored there? We just said it points to something.
Uh, like it points to the actual memory location, but that specific memory location doesn't have anything stored to. It might return garbage values, but I'm not sure about that.
Okay. So effectively, you can't dereference it because the compiler has no type information, so it doesn't know the size of
Okay.
the allocated memory. It has no idea how
Okay.
much. Is it an int? If it's
How
an
much
int, how
bytes
big the
triggers?
int
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yes, yes, yes. I get you.
Okay. Cool. You said you took networking as well, right?
Yep.
Is there congestion control in TCP?
Congestion control over TCP. I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. That's a fair answer. There is. So, unlike UDP that's more fire and forget, there's a congestion mechanism in TCP to control how many bytes the receiver will receive, or can receive, so the sender doesn't flood the receiver.
But excuse me,
Yes.
just to get my knowledge right,
Yep.
uh, would that not be a part of the OSI model,
The OSI model
like the
describes
congestion
the.
control thing?
No, that's a transport protocol specific feature for TCP.
Oh, okay,
Because UDP is transport level and it does not have any flow control.
okay,
That's why DDoS attacks are usually UDP.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. I asked you a bunch of questions, and I want to keep the stream moving. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, sure. So, based on whatever you asked me, what do you think? What should I go for? Like, what domain should I target?
That's a really hard question. Because I effectively asked you a lot. And I asked you a
Yeah.
lot. The thing is, this is why it's hard to answer. I asked you a lot of what you said you're familiar with, and I would say you answered
Yes.
probably 50% of the questions right, which
Okay.
to me is not a good ratio of correct answers.
Okay.
And I'll be frank, I did hear you typing, so there was a little bit of suspicion on my part, whether or not you were typing to search where I can buy lunch, or you were typing asking me or looking for the answer. It was just a little suspect, and so I don't really know what to say. I mean, it's your choice in terms of where you want to see yourself moving, but I would say you still need to brush up on those fundamentals, because there's no question that I asked you here that you shouldn't have had the answer for, given the courses you've taken and the information that you've communicated to me as to what you're familiar with. It should have been extremely easy to, for example, to know that TCP is a streaming-based protocol.
Okay.
For example, there were some other things like new in C++, and that malloc
Yep.
returns a void pointer.
Yep.
The biggest red flag for me is when I asked you, do you know what a function signature is, and you said you don't.
Yeah. So basically, I knew what a function signature is. I did not know like it is called a function signature.
Okay, let me ask you one more thing about Python.
Yes, please.
In Python, everything is a.
What?
In Python, everything. Fill in the blank. In Python, everything is a.
Python, everything is a. I've never heard of that sentence, to be honest.
That's fine. I want to thank you for being honest, because that's what I'm asking for as part of being at the heart of this call. So everything's an object in Python. It's a very common saying. It's one of the first sayings you'll hear in a Python 101 course.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.